Love, Like, Chaos, Murder, Death, Kill. This is part 3 to my video, and I'd like to continue to reiterate the fact of the matter is that we all need each other. It's really that simple. There's no other way to really put it. There's no other way to put it. Now, see, the difference is right now what's going on is that if you noticed on TikTok, there's a lot of European, Caucasian, other ethnicities, the people that are experiencing a thing that most black folks have all been experiencing for us, these so-called policy enforcers, even though they find it following this agenda blindly, unbeknownst to them that they're going to be subjugated to the same thing once martial law is implemented. And as well as the people that's in the military, they're going to be subjugated to this too, the ones that choose not to follow these orders to kill and murder people in the name of democracy, in the name of keeping order. Because, see, what supersedes you guys is the United Nations, unbeknownst to you, a lot of you all. Now, yes, we know that there's a lot of migrants and immigrants here and this and that, and what they're trying to do is create this so-called this boiling pot and this chaos. And a lot of people are focused on the migrants and mad at this and that, when we know in America that we got a whole lot of shitload of homeless people, we got a lot of homeless veterans, we got all kind of stuff going on. You can't even have a farm or grow food here to feed the people or help people. You can't even set up soup kitchens or just out in the park trying to feed people without the police coming and tearing that down or saying you got to move, or they taking your food and taking all the items. What do you really think is going on? Do you think they have our best interests at hand? We all know that Joe Biden is a puppet, and most times he's not even Joe Biden. I think Joe Biden has already passed on. And that's really a reptilian, that's a shapeshifter that's actually perpetuating this lie. And we know Kamala Harris, we already know she is a sellout. She really don't give a fuck about nobody but her own agenda. But she don't understand one thing. The same thing that you wishing and putting out on these people, it's going to happen to you and your whole family. All you politicians and so forth and so on, just like they was talking about Joe Biden's supposed to step down, Kamala's supposed to take over, and then they're going to put... Michelle Obama up as the president. No, that's Michelle Obama. We already know what she is, or he is. Everything is not what it appears to be. It is literally a well-dressed lie, and a lot of you guys are falling for this agenda. Now, that being said, we know what Barack is. We know he's pretty much a homosexual. And this is for educational purpose, because I don't want TikTok to take this down, because we know the same people that's pretty much running everything and has all these so-called avenues that we can express ourselves are the same people that's running this, and they do have an agenda. Because if you guys don't remember, you Bible thumpers or what have you, there was a thing in the Bible where even when during Jesus' time, even though we know Jesus did not actually physically exist, because everything is a parable of what you're supposed to aspire to be. But there was 3 individuals. It was the Pharisees, Sadducees, and scribes. That's pretty much your media. That's pretty much your newspaper. That's pretty much the internet and what they want you to what they want to put out in order to subliminally program you to believe these things and to get you feeling some type of way. Just like most European people and Caucasians feel that, oh, black people are dangerous, black people are this. No. We're the most kind-hearted, empathetic, compassionate people ever, because we're direct from source. So we have the essence and nature of God within us. Now, I understand that a lot of you guys have been altered and mixed and so forth and so on. And a lot of you guys have been eating a lot of this processed food and all this stuff that's contaminated with all these other things in it. And even with the homosexual community and so forth and so on. Some of you, yeah, I understand as far as Dr. Delbert Elbert explained in reference to you not having enough testosterone. But that being said, majority of y'all have been altered, and that's based on the consumption. Now, a lot of you have watched the movie They Cloned Tyrone. Now, let me explain something to you. The universal law states that they must tell you everything, and the reason why they must tell you everything, because that is universal law. And a lot of you guys watch these movies and you take it as just entertainment. It's not entertainment. They're literally informing you to your face. But a lot of you guys are so closed-minded that you can't conceive the fact of the matter of what it actually is. They're telling you, and they must tell you what's going on. There's going to be a lot of lies that's being perpetuated too, and a lot of half-truths out here. in order to keep us divided, to keep us separated, to keep us at odds with each other, so they can perpetuate their continual agenda in order to depopulate, because depopulation is the ultimate agenda. Now, you already know and heard about the fact of the matter that they already taking immigrants. An immigrant is already, a migrant that just came here is already a police officer, just graduated from the police force or what have you. Now, that being said, they're giving them money, doing all this and that, but they're not the problem. That's just part of something to create the more confusion, part of the distraction. Everything that you're seeing that's going on is part of the distraction to keep you from going within. The religions, all this stuff is distractions to keep you focused on everything else and all this other bullshit instead of focusing on yourself and tapping in and stepping away from all this fucking bullshit. And that's all this contaminated food, all this contaminated water, the air is contaminated, everything. How many of you all see all the fucking time? Every time you look in the sky, it's planes going by and they leaving a mess. The next thing you know, it's cloudy the next day. How is that? That's how all of a sudden now we're supposed to have a winter storm. It's damn near fucking March, but we're about to have a winter storm? How do you go from 70 to 80 degrees to fucking 20 degrees or minus fucking 20? All these catastrophes, these are man-made catastrophes. Even the places that got fucking destroyed and so forth and so on, and then all of a sudden, these so-called elites and these so-called celebrities all of a sudden are buying up this land and all of a sudden making bunkers and this and that. You don't have to worry about them, because the places that they're building underground, that's going to be their graves. The planet is alive. Planet Kai, Mother Gaia, the female energy, because it's always been female energy. We're out of the age of when it was masculine energy and the domineering and the subjugating of the people. We're in the masculine energy because, see, unbeknownst to a lot of you all, the first of creation was the female energy, was the woman. That's why she had the Prometheus gene. That's why she had the Eve gene. That's why she was able to conceive without a man. There's a lot of people still thinking that man was first and still believing in that Bible stuff, still believing in the Quran and all this other stuff and following these so-called rules. We're before any books were ever written. Books and all these other things, like this one video, if you search my page, it states this one European lady speaks and says that all the books have been tampered with and they're all full of lies. And all this stuff is in order to keep you subjugated, to keep you in a low vibration, to keep you following the agenda. The only truth that you really need to be seeking is the truth that's already within you. The things that you question, the conspiracy theories, that's the truth. Watch some of these movies, and don't watch them just for entertainment. Watch them for information and instructions, and to let you know what the agenda is, because there's always been an agenda, and that agenda is to depopulate and to keep everybody distracted and keep everybody at odds with each other, and to perpetuate hate and disdain for your fellow human being, for your fellow man, for your fellow woman. You hear what I'm saying? How much genetically altered organisms do we have on this planet? Yes, that's going to be a war. The war has already been going on, but we're going to physically see it. Did you hear about the story about the Marine that was on his land and the police came and they shot him? They shot his son. They shot his wife. Now he's battling out. That's been multiple instances of that. Did you hear about the people that was growing food, organic food and this and that, all the farmers, and they came, the government, and came and poured up all their food, excavated the land, and forced them out, and charged them and put them in jail? Come on, man. It's time for everybody to wake up and come together. Now, it's supposed to be a mass shutdown on the 29th of February where nobody goes to work, nobody does this, nobody does. I would love to see it. Because if we don't come together and put our foot down and say, fuck this shit, they're going to keep fucking playing us like a fucking violin. Now, how many of y'all going to keep falling for the okie doke? Because game recognized game. It is time. We must come together. And like I said before, we have no real enemies because we all come from the source of creation. That's why you have the spark of life. That's why you have the breath of life. You will return back to whence you come. Believe that. Deuces.